All right, the first topic for this morning, I need to get in the right place, but it's just what I alluded to, was that we have new bishops in the Global Methodist Church. They got elected last month, but they haven't been like plugged in. We didn't have episcopal areas, and that's kind of you. If you're going to be a bishop, you need to know where you're bishop of, and they are bishops of the whole church. But even so, they needed to be given areas. The plan that we adopted gives each bishop 4 to 6 annual conferences. And so we're going to go down the line of each bishop here in a minute and see where they're going to be in charge. So it's similar to the United Methodist Church, where they are given an episcopal area and they are bishops of the whole church. It's different in a number of ways, but this is something that we have in common. The new bishops that we've got Jones and Webb, who've already been serving. They're going to continue to serve, and they could even get reelected in 2 years, maybe. And then we've got 6 new bishops, 2 of whom are from the African continent, and they are interim bishops. They're only going to be in place for 2 years, and only a couple of them can even be considered past that. So I've already reported on this a little bit. Chris Ritter is the chair of the committee responsible for demarcating the different episcopal areas and assigning the bishops to them. He had a crew of, I want to say, 10 to 13 people that I didn't think they would make decisions this fast, but they've already assigned all of them as of yesterday. And then Chris, of course, is he runs peopleneedjesus.net. He's got a great weekly mailing, and his weekly mailing went out yesterday saying 2 big developments, one in the UMC, one in the GMC. In the GMC, we're getting bishops. And in the UMC, they're about to decide on paragraph 2549, which, of course, I reported on yesterday. So I don't know when they're going to release that final statement, but I obviously made my opinion known that they are going to decide against paragraph 2549 being used in that way. We're talking about bishops right now, though. Let's consult this press release that they put out, and then we'll look at the different assignments. Here's what the article says. The Global Methodist Church's Global Episcopacy Committee is pleased to announce the assignments for bishops elected by the recent Convening General Conference. This appointment process, carried out with prayer and discernment, reflects a commitment to serve the church's mission to make disciples of Jesus Christ and spread scriptural holiness across the globe. I think what I notice in all of these articles put out by the GMC is they are always going to have, every single time, they're going to have the mission statement in there. Each assignment is effective as of November 1st, 2024. So that's coming up. They only have a couple more days of freedom. Which, by the way, the interim bishops, that is only a part-time position, whereas I think Jones and Webb are still considered full-time. Excuse me. Recognizing the unique and diverse contexts within the GMC, the committee, the Global Episcopacy Committee, consulted with bishops, the Transitional Leadership Council, that they will be phasing out at the end of the year, and conference delegations to make assignments. The goal was to embody the church's global superintendency, superintendency, if you don't know, is just bishops. So global, we got a global denomination. How are we going to apportion our bishops around it? Ensuring all bishops serve beyond their regions of origin and other existing roles. No bishop has been assigned to their conference of origin, and assignments were made to both existing conferences and emerging areas expected to develop into annual conferences. No bishop has been assigned to their conference of origin. I thought I saw that Pino was from Nigeria, but it must have been the Nigerian conferences he's not from. That's interesting to me. Okay, so no bishop is in charge of the conference that they're from. Okay. We anticipate both the addition of new conferences and the multiplication of existing conferences due to growth. For example, Bishop Evariste, also conference superintendent of the DRC, is well prepared to exercise episcopal leadership in new conferences of the DRC as those are defined by expansion plans currently underway. When changes in conference alignment affect the assignment of bishops, the Global Episcopacy Committee will announce those changes. So wait, Bishop Evariste, He is also still the conference superintendent of the DRC. I just assumed they would find someone else to replace him, but no. The conference superintendent that's similar to they're the primary person in charge of just one annual conference. So he's in charge of the DRC, but he's not bishop of the DRC. But he's well prepared to exercise episcopal leadership in new conferences within the DRC. I think I understood that right. The Episcopacy Committee thanks the entire church for its support in this prayerful process. Please join us in welcoming our bishops as they lead with conviction and humility in the new season. So we have their assignments, and then they made like nice graphics for each of these. So we'll actually look at that here on Facebook. So that's the full slate of bishops currently from left to right: Webb, Jones, Evariste, Moore, Hidde Gregory, Pena Alta, Greenway, and that guy I really like a lot and whose name I'm forgetting right now. We'll come to it in a second. So Bishop John Pena Alta, he's going to be in charge of North Georgia, Northeast Nigeria, Southern Nigeria. So he's a Nigerian. There are 4 annual conferences in Nigeria. He's going to be responsible for 2 of them. Apparently, neither of those 2 are going to be his head home. Then there are 2 areas that we are developing, Malawi and Zimbabwe. So y'all remind me, I got to ask Tozuna Jacob Maforo, who is from Zimbabwe, what he knows about this. I'm curious where things currently stand. All right, so he's got 5 annual conferences, 3 of them formalized. So God bless Bishop Pena in that task. Then we have Kimba Evariste. He is over the Central African Republic, Florida, South Africa, and Zambia. They're developing in Zambia. I wonder what the difference is between a development and an established conference. Like, I don't think you don't have to be a certain size. We have annual conferences composed of just 1 church or 2. But he's not going to be over. So he's the conference superintendent of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And then we've got the Central African Republic. Okay, so he's the only one in America. So Pena Alta, he's got North Georgia, and that's his only American one. And then Evariste has Florida, and that's his only American one. Greenway, Heartland, that's where I'm from. He's my new bishop. North Carolina, and then he's going to be responsible for development in Rwanda and Thailand. Thailand, I didn't even know there were Methodists in Thailand. That's awesome. That'll be fun. I hope it's fun. All right. God bless Bishop Greenway, Bishop Evariste. We got Hidde Gregory. Oh, it's just Gregory on this, huh? All right. Bulgaria, that's where Daniel Topolsky's from. That's, I'm realizing I was supposed to talk with someone from Croatia. What happened there? Is that my fault? Anyway, I shouldn't be thinking about. Okay, Northeast Annual Conference, South Georgia Annual Conference, and then the development in Mexico. If you didn't know it, we're hopefully going to get started in Mexico, so that's great. She's down in Texas. She's from Mid-Texas. She was the conference superintendent there. Maybe she still is. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of these things are different from person to person. Oh my gosh, look at all the things on Jones's plate. Now remember, he's full-time though, and he's practiced. So he's got Alabama, Emerald Coast, Central Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Mega Manila, that's in the Philippines. Then he's got Mississippi, West Tennessee, Northern Nigeria. So he's got the 2 other Nigerian conferences. Trinity, that's in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. West Plains, and then the developments in Ethiopia. So we've got Kenya, Ethiopia, and Ethiopia. That's interesting. And then Africa Mashariki, which is Kenya. I could have sworn we had Kenya, Ethiopia over here. Maybe not. Maybe they're splitting them up, and I just didn't notice. And then North Africa. Interesting. Livingston is his name. Kenneth Livingston. He's going to be at Mid-South, Mid-Texas, Panama, I thought he was from mid-Texas. He's from one of the Texas ones. Well, Panama and Peru. That's awesome. God bless Mr. Livingston. Bishop Moore has the other Filipino Conference Covenant, North Alabama, South Carolina, Western states, and the development in Uganda. Very cool. God bless her in that. Then Bishop Webb, he's got a ton as well. Allegheny West, the DRC, Great Lakes, the Korean Annual Conference. Remember, that's our one ethnically based conference that's in the U.S. Slovakia, Spain, Tanzania, Upper Midwest, Virginia, Angola, and Mozambique. Wow. God bless Bishop Webb. And man. All right. And then we're back to the beginning. So those are the new assignments. All of them are responsible for developing these areas, keeping them connected, being theological resources in the midst of all this, being representatives to other denominations about who we are, helping them onboard into the GMC. There are a lot of denominations that are interested in joining us. They have a lot of work to be done. So Lord, bless these new Episcopal leaders and their capacities. Give them the strength and endurance and insight needed for their roles. And God bless their work insofar as it pleases you, and help us to know how to support them. We ask these things in Jesus' holy name. Amen.